Coming up on Fox 10 Midday at 11 with Ashlyn. Ashlyn, good to see you on this Wednesday morning.
Good morning to you as well, Chelsea. We have a full hour of news coming up on Fox 10 Midday. First, in national headlines, President Trump is doubling down, saying there will be no extensions to his tariff deadline, which is August 1st. We have the details coming up. And then two baseball legends and one special celebration. We'll tell you about a tribute decades in the making, and it's all happening right here in the Port City. As always, Jen is tracking your hot and humid forecast on this Wednesday. So we invite you to join both of us for Fox 10 Midday starting right after Studio 10. Joe?
Keeping a close eye on your forecast. More heat and humidity out there for today and actively tracking some showers and storms. I'll be breaking down all the details of your Wednesday forecast coming up.
And one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded sends tsunami waves towards the East Coast. The West Coast, rather. We'll have the latest coming up.
We're now learning more about the 4 innocent people who lost their lives when they went to work inside of this New York City skyscraper behind me. I'm Alexis McAdams. I'll have the latest on this investigation coming up next.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's Wednesday, July 30th, and I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Jennifer Lambers.
Jen stepped outside this morning once again. Can't breathe out there. It's just hot, muggy, and when will it end?
That's exactly right. And the humidity even higher today than what we've been seeing. Yeah, you could feel it out there, especially temperatures today. They're going to be lower than what we've been seeing for the past few days, but that humidity not helping us at all. It's still making it feel just as muggy, just as hot out there. And so here's a look at those conditions across the southeast. Really what we're noting is those winds, they've made a shift. They've been out of the north for the past few days, and it helped us out just a little bit, but now they're out of the south. And so they're bringing in abundance of Gulf moisture out there, just making it feel a little bit more sticky out there, but also we'll feel the difference later on today once our heat indices are soaring back into the triple digits. Many spots already there. But also we're starting to see some of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms already making an appearance closer towards southern Baldwin County. Cotton Bayou, Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, closer towards Owa into Foley. Just starting to see some of those moderate to even heavy showers. Perdido Key as well. A reminder, rain, it's okay to be out there on the beach, but as soon as you hear some of those rumbles of thunder, see any of that lightning, just make sure that you head inside, get off of the sand. Here's the live view outside down in Orange Beach. There's that rain falling out there. A few folks still getting out and enjoying it, still seeing some of those boats that are coming back in from some of those showers out there. Temperatures, though, still feeling like 108 at this time. Temperatures all across our area, just seeing those temperatures resting mid to upper 80s and the lower 90s. Feeling, however, much warmer, noting a lot of those triple digits. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, break down the timing for today's rain chances, and also talk more about this heat and humidity. That's coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. And first on midday, one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded struck miles off the Russian coast, triggering tsunami warnings and evacuations across the Pacific. Though the western U.S. appeared to escape without major damage. Fox News senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse has the story.
A massive earthquake striking Russia's far east, sending tsunami waves towards Hawaii and the west coast. Minor damage reported, and Hawaiian officials eventually downgraded their warning.
The wave activity is still going to be pretty active for a few hours after the initial tsunami waves impact the coastline. I have noticed that they have begun to kind of recede out a little bit more and come back in.
Cars jammed highways in Hawaii's capital as thousands evacuated from the coastal areas on Tuesday. Wave heights reaching up to 6 feet in parts of Maui and 5 feet on the Big Island.
There may be flooding of beach or harbor areas. Those who have evacuated may safely return home based on county assessments and directives.
Geologists say the 8.8 magnitude earthquake happened about 85 miles off the Russian coast, a depth about 12 miles. The tremors triggered a tsunami across the northern Pacific that sent waves towards a chain of Russian islands, floodwaters submerging buildings and tearing boats off their mooring. It also targeted portions of Japan, prompting evacuations for 2 million near their coastlines. Others were forced to shelter on top of high buildings.
I was very scared. The warnings were for all over Japan.
Geologists say the 8.8 quake is the 5th strongest ever recorded. In Los Angeles, Wayne Lajeunesse, Fox News.
And at this moment, thousands of firefighters are battling a series of wildfires stretching across Portugal. 2 major fires sparking new concerns today as the country experiences a big heat wave. Over 3,000 firefighters were on the ground there. In the northern part of Portugal, a fire broke out Saturday, threatening villages and natural protected areas. Then Monday, another fire started in the central region of Aroca. It spread quickly due to strong winds and high temps reaching over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, the first Australian-made rocket attempting to reach orbit crashed after 14 seconds of flight earlier today. The rocket Eris, launched by Gilmour Space Technologies, was designed to carry small satellites into orbit. Now, during that test flight today, the rocket appeared to clear the launch tower and hovered in the air before crashing nearby. The company hailed the launch as a success in a statement posted to Facebook, saying it would consider the launch a success if the rocket left the ground. Thankfully, no one was reported hurt. And in the meantime, India and the U.S. partnered to launch a powerful new satellite into space today. The satellite, called Nisar, blasted off atop a rocket launched from India's southeastern coast. The mission is a team effort between NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization. Nisar will send data helping to map changes to the Earth's surface, and the goal is to improve crop management, monitor natural hazards, and help track sea ice and glaciers. And new on midday, President Donald Trump is doubling down, saying there will be no extensions to his tariff deadline of August 1st. On social media this morning, the president posted the deadline, quote, will not be extended. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Sunday the president is still open to conversations with countries following the deadline, as several rush to make deals with the United States. Well, there are more suspects to question as police ramp up their investigation into the deadly mass shooting at a Manhattan skyscraper. Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams has more now from New York.
Hundreds of people gathering in New York City to pay their respects after 4 people were killed in a midtown skyscraper this week. The NYPD says the weapon used by the gunman was assembled using a part that was purchased by a friend of the shooter, and that person will be questioned.
What did they know? Did they know that this person was going to travel from Las Vegas into the New York area and was going to commit this heinous crime?
Investigators say the gunman, identified by police as Shane Tamura, walked into this skyscraper and opened fire. He shot 5 people before he took his own life. Now, some leaders renewing their calls for gun control.
We cannot respond to senseless gun laws through vigils. It must be responded through legislation.
Our community needs to support each other, rise up to this occasion, and also take some actions to ensure that those lives are not lost in vain.
Meanwhile, the law enforcement community grieving the loss of Diderot Islam, an off-duty NYPD officer who was working security at the building. The 36-year-old was a husband and a dad of 2 and had another child on the way.
Your father lost his son, and wife lost her husband, son lost her father. He never gonna get his father. That's all I can say.
So why did the gunman drive all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, here to Park Avenue in New York City and target this specific skyscraper? Investigators say it's because he thought he had severe mental health injuries from playing football and blamed the NFL. Their headquarters are in that building. Reporting in New York City, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
And now to Baldwin County, where a welfare check turned into a grim discovery. Valerie Bonner is facing charges after police say she failed to report a man's death and instead let his body decompose inside her apartment at Alcium Point. She's now charged with abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Court documents reveal Bonner tossed the man's wallet and phone into a dumpster after he died. Right now, investigators say foul play is not suspected, though, but an autopsy will determine how the man died. In the meantime, an accused Mobile drug dealer whose lawyer admitted to using artificial intelligence to draft an inaccurate filing wants a new attorney himself. The request by Glennie McGee comes after a federal judge removed attorney James Johnson from the case after the lawyer admitted that a filing he made with AI contained citations to non-existent cases. A magistrate judge appointed a new lawyer, but in a handwritten letter from jail, McGee now says he wants to represent himself. A judge has set a hearing for next week to consider his request. McGee is accused of running a multi-million-dollar drug distribution network that actually used children as couriers. And locally, plans to renovate St. Louis Street in downtown Mobile are officially moving forward. The $16.7 million complete streets upgrade is expected to cover 17 blocks from Broad to Water Streets. This will include full reconstruction of the storm drainage systems, water and sewer lines, sidewalks, crosswalks, and much more.
So a complete streets project prioritizes three things: walking, cycling, and vehicles. So it's making the streets safe for everybody. So there's new sidewalks going in, ADA crosswalks, which is really important all the way up and down the street. There's also areas for bicycling.
And city officials say a majority of the funding is coming from grants through the Restore Act, and the city of Mobile will contribute $665,000. The Mobile Area Water and Sewer System, MAWS, will contribute $4.2 million to replace those water and sewer lines. And the hope is to start the project by the end of the summer, which is expected to take 2.5 years. Officials say the plan is to work block by block to limit the disruption to businesses on St. Louis Street. But first, in this week's We the People, a legendary liner docked in Mobile is being prepped for a brand new purpose. See how the SS United States is set to become the world's largest artificial reef and what that means for our Gulf Coast. Jen, speaking of the coast, it's hot out there for all of us today.
Yeah, that is exactly right, Ashlyn. And we're tracking some of those showers out there, just bringing in some of that brief relief. But it'll feel sticky once that rain does begin to move through. Some offshore showers right now looking down off of Dauphin Island. It's calm and quiet on the island right now, but we will start to warm up with those temperatures in the upper 80s later on today. Coastal areas in southern Mobile County looking at less chances for that rain coverage. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up when we come.
On this day in history, July 30th, 1864, a small but daring mission was underway in Mobile Bay. Lieutenant J.C. Watson and his crew, towed in by a tugboat named Cowslip, carried out a risky daytime reconnaissance. Their goal? To chart the bay's outer channel and, more importantly, mark the deadly Confederate torpedo fields. Their work eventually helped set the stage for what became known as the Battle of Mobile Bay. And work continues in the Port of Mobile to prepare the historic SS United States to become the world's largest artificial reef. And this week's We the People segment, Fox 10 is highlighting the ocean liner's journey here and the work underway to get her ready for her next chapter. The ship has now been here for nearly 5 months as crews remove fuel, paint, wiring, and other environmental hazards. That work expected to take up to a year before the SSUS embarks on its final voyage just east of us, giving her new life underwater off the coast of Destin, Fort Walton Beach.
And we have the largest for-hire fishing fleet in the United States in Destin, Fort Walton Beach, so we need to make sure that there's ample fishing spots.
The Ocean Liner still holds the fastest transatlantic record set on its maiden voyage back in 1952. Meanwhile, once sunk off the Destin Fort Walton Beach area, the $10.1 million project will include building a museum on land to honor the ship's legacy.
Well, taking another look at your forecast and a live view outside down in Pensacola Beach, and it looks stunning out there. Just starting to see some of that sunshine. clear blue skies really, and some calm water conditions. A few folks getting out there and enjoying it, but just keep in mind a few miles away further off towards the west, southern Baldwin County, dealing with quite a few showers and storms, all going to be dependent upon your location for today. Now the temperatures out there hot and toasty. Gulf Shores resting in the upper 80s along with Pensacola, but look at the difference in that humidity. Dew points are 5 degrees apart, mid 70s in Pensacola, lower 80s in Gulf Shores. So the feels like temperatures also straying away despite the air temperature being the same, feeling more like 105 in Gulf Shores in comparison to 99 in Pensacola. Now we will continue to see that trend later on for today. Another heat advisory once again in effect. Heat index value is going to be feeling easily like the triple digits. 108 and above is going to be the criteria set for our local National Weather Service office. That should say for today, as it's going to continue to stay hot and toasty out there for your Wednesday. Now forecast daytime highs later on today, a few upper 80s, but mainly those lower to mid 90s out there. And it's going to be a lot closer to average for what we should be seeing this time of year. A reminder, the past few days, Monday and Tuesday, our daytime highs were mid to upper 90s. Now we're getting closer to where we should be. Luckily nowhere near that record. But now that the winds have shifted out of the south, we've noticed an increase in the humidity out there. So it's still feeling toasty despite those daytime highs going down just a little bit, continuing well easily into the triple digits, possibly getting closer towards the 100 in teens. Stay hydrated, take breaks in case you are spending any time outside. Timing things out in our futurecast, not quite picking up on those showers and thunderstorms that we're seeing in southern Baldwin County just yet. It wants to bring in some of that activity closer towards 1 and 2 o'clock. Keeps the highest chances right along I-10 there, but as we get further along into this evening, we'll start to see more of that coverage beginning to lift further inland. Really wants to keep our local beaches quiet as we get further along into the rest of today. So if you're closer towards the immediate coastline, you have less chances to see some of that rain coverage for today. Still some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds possible than any of these storms. Just make sure that you're driving carefully. We'll start to lose some of the fuel for those showers and storms once we get towards sunset and beyond. Things fizzling out closer towards 10 and 11 p.m. The rip current risk at our local beaches is low for today. Tomorrow, Friday, it looks nice out there. Water temperatures warm, however, in the upper 80s. Jellyfish also in full force. Just make sure that you're being careful out there. And then checking in on the tropics, some good news out there. Things are calm and quiet in the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf waters. No new tropical development is expected over the next 7 days. But as I was mentioning earlier this morning, we have 2 months behind us for hurricane season. Still 4 months to go until the end of November. So still a long ways as we get throughout the rest of the 2025 season. As always, our team will keep you updated right here on Fox 10. But here locally, our summertime pattern continues. Heat, humidity, temperatures a lot closer to average with pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible every single afternoon. I'll be breaking down more of your forecast details coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
All right, it's that time of year. Thank you, Jen, for that update. Well, coming up, a new warning about a dangerous substance sold in smoke shops. Why federal health officials are calling it legal morphine. Plus, nicotine pouches are gaining popularity, but a sharp rise in child poisoning cases has officials sounding their alarm. We're breaking it down. More Fox 10 Midday is on the way after this. Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday this morning. They're marketed as a smokeless nicotine alternative for adults, but they're actually landing young children in the hospital. Nicotine pouches are growing in popularity, and so are the dangers when little ones get a hold of them. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither breaks down a new study on the risks and what parents need to know.
In the U.S., sales of nicotine pouches have skyrocketed from 126 million pouches sold in August 2019 to 808 million sold in March 2022.
There's been an explosion of nicotine products in recent years. And we also know that there is a paucity of data looking at what happens to young children when they get into these products.
Dr. Hannah Hayes with Nationwide Children's Hospital is co-author of a study aimed at the dangers of these products in little hands. The researchers found that between 2020 and 2023, unintentional nicotine pouch ingestion calls to U.S. poison centers surged 763% for children younger than 6 years old.
And this is while ingestion rates for other nicotine products declined.
Hayes says unintentional nicotine ingestion by a child can lead to nausea, vomiting, fast heart rates, high blood pressure, and in extreme cases, seizures, respiratory failure, even death. To keep children safe, Hayes says to safely and securely store these products up and away from children and out of sight, preferably in a place that can be locked, and avoid using these products in front of children, especially if they're packaged to look like treats.
I also recommend that parents save the Poison Help number in their phone or post it in a visible place in their home, and call right away if you expect a child or loved one has been exposed to a medication or drug product.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And just a reminder, you can reach poison experts at U.S. Poison Control Centers online at poison.org or by phone at 1-800-222-1222. And the agency says both options are free and confidential. In the meantime, an herbal stimulant you can find in many smoke shops and gas stations in Florida, but not in Alabama, is now being targeted by federal health officials as being far more dangerous than it looks. It's called 7-0, a highly concentrated compound from the plant kratom, and it's being nicknamed legal morphine. The FDA now wants the DEA to step in and ban it. Kratom, including 7-0, was banned in Alabama back in 2016, making it illegal to sell or possess. Mississippi has implemented age restrictions on it just this month, but that's not the case in most other states. Experts say it's being marketed as a mood booster or pain reliever, sometimes even in products like candy and drinks.
Ice cream cones. Here's one drink with 7-OH in it. 7-OH binds to the mu receptor, which means scientifically, by definition, it is an opioid.
And despite claims that kratom helps with pain or opioid withdrawal, officials warn the risks are real and growing as federal officials push to get ahead of what they fear could be a new opioid crisis. Again, it's already illegal to possess or sell in the state of Alabama. Well, still ahead on Fox 10 Midday, Vanessa Pacheco is exploring nature and wildlife at the Environmental Study Center. But she's not the only one out and about this morning, so is our Stephen Moody.
Yeah, hey, we are at Lawn Park this morning where coming up in a few minutes, they're going to hold a ribbon cutting ceremony for their brand new splash pad. I'll have more on what it took to get here coming up.
And Steven, I know it's hot and steamy out there, but hey, a perfect day for the splash pad. But do just keep in mind we are tracking the potential for some of those showers and thunderstorms. A live view outside right now, soggy down in southern Baldwin County. I'll have more details on the timing for today's chances coming up when we come.
Welcome back. If you're looking for a spot where you can learn, explore, and meet some amazing animals, the Environmental Study Center is worth a visit. Vanessa Pacheco spent the morning there making a few new friends.
Oh, I am having so much fun. I am at the Environmental Studies Center. I'm joined by Susan Clement. She is a biologist here. Now, Susan, who do we have here?
So we have 3 of our educational ambassadors. You have Sydney. She is our bearded dragon. And then I have Cobb, who is our red rat snake. And then in between us is Jessie. She is our great horned owl.
I told Susan she had to hold Cobb, and I was holding Sydney today. Let's talk about your animals here, but overall, you offer so many programs. Let's talk about your rehabilitation program.
So, you know, our main purpose here is education, but we also run a wildlife rehabilitation program where we take in injured wildlife, we fix them up, we return them to the wild, and then eventually we hopefully want to get them released. But if they can't, then they get to stay here and become ambassadors and educational animals to teach people, you know, about their species.
I love that. I've never been here, but just driving here and seeing like the different areas that y'all have, the animals that y'all have, very educational.
Yes. I mean, the impact of a live animal is so much stronger than a picture in a book or a video on a TV. When that owl flaps her wings in front of the students, they're going to remember that. When they get to touch Cobb, our red rat snake, they're going to remember that. We have so many students, or anyone, not just students, public come in, and when they're terrified of snakes. So many people are so afraid of snakes. But when they come here and we do it safely, where they can touch, then they're not afraid. And that's our whole purpose, is to respect and hopefully start to appreciate these animals and not be afraid of them and not want to go out and dispose of them because we're so terrified. And appreciation is so important.
So what you're saying, Susan, is that I need to hold Cobb. Is that what you're saying?
You need to at least touch Cobb.
Okay.
And I think you need to touch Cobb on camera as we say goodbye in a little while.
Okay. Okay, so what do I do here?
So we always tell the students, you hold up these two fingers.
Okay.
That's your snake touching fingers, and you're going to just touch her with those two.
Okay, Cobb, you look that way, Cobb.
There.
Oh.
Is she slimy? I always ask.
A little, just slightly.
No,
okay.
She's very smooth.
Soft. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit, but.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I like it. I like it. But Sydney, I'll just hold. Susan, overall, for anyone that wants more information, where can they go?
Well, give us a call. It's 251-221-5000. We're also open to the public, so they can come here anytime between 8 and 4, Monday through Friday, and take a look at all that we have outside too.
I know, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this facility. But you guys, thank you so much. Susan, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out.
Look, Sydney, say bye, Sydney. Bye.
All right, school bells will be ringing as soon as next week for some students and teachers here on the Gulf Coast. And Fox 10 is committed to making sure your new school year gets off to the best start possible. We're putting a special focus on back to school, and starting next week on Good Day Gulf Coast, Morning Anchor Sarah Wall will be talking to officials from our local school systems. That will take place during our 7:30 half hour each morning. From calendars to school supplies to bus routes and more, we'll have everything you need to know to make this back-to-school season a success. Be sure to tune in to Good Day Gulf Coast for our special focus on back to school. And being prepared for school includes having what you need before the school year starts. And thanks to you, we hope to make that happen for all students. This right here is video from one of our community partner locations, White Spunner Construction. As you can see, people have been filling the boxes with things like clear backpacks, notebooks, 3-ring binders, pens, paper, and more. All of these items will benefit children in the care of Mobile and Baldwin County DHR. And take a look at this. Tobias & Comer Law Firm just posted this to Facebook. One of their paralegals, Natalie Albritton, was buying school supplies for Operation Backpack, and this happened. She writes, "This is my new friend Eric. I was at Walmart buying stuff for Operation Backpack, and he insisted on paying the bill. So I asked for a picture. Thank you, Eric. He said this was his way to give back because he doesn't get to do this very often." And here are a look at the drop-off locations in our area if you want to help as well, including Sandy Sansing dealerships in Foley and Daphne, and Tobias & Comer Law Firm in Mobile, White Spunner Construction, and the Fox 10 News Studios. We have a full list of items needed and all the drop-off sites on our website, fox10tv.com. And just a reminder, Operation Backpack runs through tomorrow.
Taking another look at your forecast and a live view outside down in Fairhope, and still looking a little gray and gloomy out there. Not a lot of folks getting out and enjoying it for this Wednesday, because if you haven't stepped outside, it is hot and it is muggy out there. Calm conditions over Mobile Bay, but not really much of a breeze out there helping us out. A look at conditions across the southeast, and it looks a little unsettled. We're still just starting to see some of those showers and storms beginning to fire off for some portions of our area. Mainly noticing a lot of that taking place into southern Baldwin County. So some heavy downpours, quite a bit of thunder and lightning beginning to take place. So Gulf Shores, Orange Beach are looking a little bit better along with Perdido Key. But now a lot of this beginning to push further inland. So Foley starting to see a lot more of that rain. Alberta right between those two cells. And then even making our way closer towards Lillian and Seminole. Some heavy downpours And again, as noted, a lot of thunder and lightning. So if you're anywhere in Escambia County, Florida, or other portions of Baldwin County, you're likely hearing some of those rumbles of thunder. Timing things out on our Futurecast, both Futurecast models struggling with what's already beginning to play out in southern Baldwin County. They're not quite leaning towards some of that rain coverage. This model doing just a little bit better with that HRRR. So it really wants to bring in some more rain showers and thunderstorms once we get closer towards 1 and 2 o'clock. That's staying consistent on both sides for these Futurecast models. Really keeps the early portion right along I-10 and then begins to spread further inland later on this evening, just near the dinner time hour. Once again, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds possible than any of these showers or storms. This coverage begins to fizzle out and we start to introduce more of those clear skies just a little bit after sunset. The rain chances over the next few days only continuing. We are stuck in the summertime pattern with those rain chances every single day, mainly coming into play in the afternoon and the evening. That'll linger as we get closer towards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And again, we do have that heat advisory once again in effect for today. Those heat index values 108 and above out there. So it's going to be feeling toasty. Daytime highs maxing out really around what we should be seeing this time of year. You notice that dip closer towards 2 o'clock. That's accounting for some of those rain showers and thunderstorms out there. But despite some of the rain coverage, we really don't stray away from those triple-digit heat indices very much. If we do see any rain, it'll be some brief relief. But as soon as they do begin to push out, you start to see some peaks of sunshine. It is muggy out there and it'll be feeling toasty. Another live view outside down in Orange Beach. I mean, take a look at that water. It is incredibly calm out there. It's beautiful. Those waves just breaking a little bit closer towards the immediate shoreline, but the winds out there, those will continue just out of the south-southwest for today. That shift in comparison to the northerly winds yesterday. Calm around 10 miles per hour. So the rip current risk at our local beaches low today through Friday and even as we get closer towards the weekend. So in case you're planning a beach weekend ahead of us, it looks great. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot. Just be careful again. Those jellyfish in full force. Here's a look at what we're tracking over the next 7 days. No end in sight to the summertime pattern for us here locally. Daytime highs right around where we should be with afternoon showers and storms. I'll break down more of your forecast details coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
All right, Jen, thank you for that. As we just saw, it's hot and the timing couldn't be more perfect. A new splash pad just opened at Lawn Park in Mobile. Fox 10's Stephen Moody is live this morning where the kids are already having a blast. And Stephen, we're seeing a lot of smiling faces behind you now.
Yeah, hey Ashlyn, this is the perfect time for this. Like you mentioned before, it has been a hot summer here, as it always is on the Gulf Coast. Let me step out of the way and show you what we're looking at here. You mentioned the crowd of people. They're all gathered around as they listen to Councilman Ben Reynolds talk about this project and what it took to make it happen. Now, this splash pad was built with a nature theme to help complement its surroundings. It's actually shaped like a leaf. Now, this is the 7th splash pad in the area built by the Mobile Parks and Recreation Department, and this was the District 4 capital project. It also includes upgrades to the landscaping and improvements to the outdoor restrooms. Now, the city says that the project represents an investment of more than $320,000 into the park and the community center. Now, Councilman Ben Reynolds just wrapped up his speech there, and then following some remarks from the Parks Department, they're actually going to get the kids in the middle of the splash pad, and it's something that's more unique than a typical ribbon cutting. They're going to count down, and then they're going to turn the splash pad on. So it's going to be a wonderful day here in Mobile as we continue to try and beat the heat this summer. And we'll have more coming up a little bit later this afternoon as this event continues. But for now, reporting live here in Mobile, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
All right, Stephen, thanks for showing us what's going on out there. If you do take your kiddos out to the splash pad, definitely pack sunscreen, take breaks, and hydrate throughout the day. Well, as the blistering heat continues, we are also seeing a spike in our power bills. And right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream, Sarah is taking a look at what we can do to bring those bills down as the temperatures soar. She has advice and tips from local utilities on how to handle the heat. Sarah's Spotlight is available right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. And coming up, AI is everywhere. So how do you use it? We'll tell you about some new poll results. Plus, some teenagers in Florida are already learning how teamwork can affect change. Their fresh approach to fighting hunger and helping the planet is ahead. Well, how is this for working together to find solutions? A Florida community youth farm is fighting food insecurity and climate change.
The farm was founded in 2019 after a local grocery store shut down in the neighborhood. Locals got together and decided to build a community youth-led farm where people could learn to compost and grow their own food. Since then, the farm has hired more than 100 teenagers from the community.
Wow. They also offer cooking workshops, gardening education, and mental health programs. In addition, they've helped create hundreds of mini gardens all across the community. Thousands of volunteers have participated in their program pretty close by to us. That's neat.
That is good for them, teaching them a lot of good life skills there, but also helping out for those that need it.
Absolutely, and you can do a lot with compost as well. I don't have a green thumb, but I know that this is something that will probably work well. So interesting. Well, if you do a search on the internet, it's hard to avoid AI.
And that's really how most people are using it. That's according to a new poll.
Yeah, the study shows 60% of adults use artificial intelligence to search for information, but less people are using it for drafting emails, work, or shopping.
The findings are based off of interviews from almost 1,500 Americans over a 5-day period in July. Younger adults were found to likely utilize AI the most. Many of them report using it for work or brainstorming.
Now, 16% of adults use AI for companionship, 26% use it for shopping, and 30% use it for entertainment. Jen, lots of ways to use this resource.
I think I use AI every day now.
Do you really? Can you give us some examples here?
Buying a car.
Okay.
We just bought a brand new car for our family, and so trying to figure out all of the details. We were getting quotes from Florida, so figuring out the difference between Florida and Alabama. And it was really helping out with some of that. I actually have to go back to school now that I'm transitioning out of news and going into the classroom. I'm going back to get my master's. And it was also a great resource for that too. Any questions I had?
Definitely a resource, not a replacement. We talk about this a lot on the show. And I actually use AI a lot for cooking, which is so funny. Like AI has literally taught me how to cook because the other day I had 5 ingredients on hand, had no idea what to make, plugged it in and made a really good pesto chicken pasta concoction. So I'm loving it for that. You can definitely use it in the right avenue.
It is part of the future, and so get on board a little bit right now.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see. All right, if you've ever struggled to choose between Oreos and Reese's, good news, you don't have to now.
That's right. The two snack giants are teaming up for 2 co-branded calorie bombs. Treats.
All right. And they're hoping it helps boost slumping sales.
The first new creation is a revamped version of a 2014 collaboration that used Reese's peanut butter as the filling in the Oreo cookie, but this time it has Reese's peanut butter and Oreo cookie crumbs packed into the filling.
Okay. The second creation is the Reese's Oreo cup. The outside of the cup is Oreo's milk chocolate and white cream, and the inside is peanut butter and Oreo cookie crumbs.
Both treats are set to hit the shelves this September, so get your milk ready.
Minus us.
I know, neither of us will be eating. We both have peanut allergies. So.
Love that for us. I love how we tell people about all these peanut butter treats and then we're like, we just can't be a part of it.
Can you have almonds though?
I can. Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
I found them at Home Goods. I'm waiting for Reese's to finally do it. Is almond butter cups.
Ooh, that would be delicious.
Yeah, and you find them at like Home Goods and TJ Maxx.
They better. Reese's, if you're listening to us, help.
Yes,
please.
Get some almond butter.
We want to try it.
And different equipment. Well, let's go ahead and take another live look outside right now from our Navigator Credit Union camera at the Battleship. And just hazy out there. A light breeze, those winds just locally closer towards downtown Mobile. Just starting to see those a little bit out of the north out there. But as we do get further along into the rest of today, we will warm up. You can see the haziness from the camera right there. Just a reminder, it's also a great time to go ahead, download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you're staying updated with the forecast and everything that's going on. We do have that heat advisory alert at the top there. That way you're staying updated with anything that might be going on. If you head on over towards the radar feature, that coloration there, that's going to be that heat advisory, and even just tracking some of those showers and storms out there right now, noting a lot of that in southern Baldwin County and also making its way closer towards Dauphin Island. But let's take a live look at those current feels like temperatures as we get further along into this afternoon. Hot and toasty, triple digits out there. Stay hydrated, take breaks. Don't rely on that rain coverage to help cool you down. In case you work outdoors or you know anyone that does, set that timer, that alarm, or reminder for when you do need to go inside and get some of that water or take that break to find some of that AC. Now, over the next few days, these heat indices will continue into the triple digits. Feeling well over 100 degrees. Could possibly see more heat advisories. Not completely out of the question, but a reminder that that criteria needed is 108 and above. Right now, this index map isn't quite showing us getting that hot, but it's more of that heat that we're used to here across the Gulf Coast. Coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to have a final look at your futurecast, plus an extended look at your forecast. That's coming up in just a bit. We'll also be back with 3 to know before you go, but there's a look at those showers and storms just off the coast of Dauphin Island.
For staying with us this morning. A quiet day in Atlanta was interrupted when a suspect in a stolen semi-truck went on a weaving joyride in oncoming traffic. Jeremy Roth has today's story, and take a look at this.
Intense video released by authorities in Georgia shows a stolen semi-truck bobbing and weaving its way through traffic before crashing in a ritzy neighborhood. Officials in Cobb County shared the dashcam video showing the bobtail-style semi-truck, that means trailerless, fleeing from police after they say it was stolen. The suspect led a tense and dangerous pursuit, at times weaving erratically across the median and into oncoming lanes of traffic before the chase ended with a crash through a homeowner's fence. Police moved in with pistols drawn and canine officers chomping at the bit, but were able to take the suspect into custody without incident. They say the man is now facing a slew of charges. Another chase in Colorado turned kinda weird when police in Aurora say a suspect matching the description from a recent burglary attempted to lose pursuing officials by driving into a car wash. Even the officers sounded perplexed by the move.
He's in the car wash.
Police say there was another vehicle already in the wash, and although the suspects rammed their vehicle through and fled on foot, they were not able to make a clean getaway. Finally, officials in Texas dealt with their own unique vehicular predicament when they were called in to help free a cat trapped in a caddy. The kitty seemed understandably catty after becoming wedged in the Escalade's engine bay. Thankfully, firefighters were able to de-escalate the Escalade issue with a little engine know-how and some elbow grease. The cat, named Limpy, was eventually freed, and officials say the feline is reportedly feelin' fine. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And it's time for 3 to know before you go today. Family and friends bid farewell to music legend Ozzy Osbourne. Thousands of mourners turned out to pay respects as Osbourne's hearse made its way through the streets of Birmingham, England today. Fans cheered and shouted Ozzy's name as the rock star made his final trip in his hometown and the city where Black Sabbath was formed in 1968. Ozzy Osbourne died last Tuesday at the age of 76. And then wildlife authorities in Louisiana captured and killed a 9-foot nuisance alligator in New Orleans. The gator became something of a tourist attraction after people started to feed it, and state wildlife experts became concerned. Gator hunters trapped the alligator on the edge of the river and fatally shot it. Now, experts say if it had been smaller, it would have likely been relocated. And then finally, Starbucks has closed the door on pickup-only stores. The coffee chain CEO said this format, which debuted 6 years ago, lacked, quote, the warmth and human connection that defines our brand. At the roughly 90 Starbucks pickup locations, customers were advised to order via the app, get their drinks, and leave. Some of these spots might be transformed into regular Starbucks stores. Jen, we've talked about this on the show today. You know, Starbucks is doing a big rebrand, just trying to make their coffee house more warm and inviting.
See, I'm here for the cozy vibes whenever you go to a coffee house, like the big leather chairs.
I'm excited to see it, for sure.
I'm excited for it. Well, let's go ahead and take a final look at your forecast. And just a reminder that in southern Baldwin County right now, we are tracking a decent thunderstorm out there. The National Weather Service did just put out a special weather statement, just talking about some of those wind gusts that could possibly get above 30 miles per hour. That's going to be including Summerdale, Alberta, and Foley. So just a heads up, drive carefully. As we do get further along into today, only anticipating this rain coverage to continue to increase, especially by 1 and 2 o'clock. o'clock. A lot of those showers and storms firing off right along or near I-10. They'll spread further inland later on tonight, closer towards the dinner time hour, but beginning to fizzle out once we get towards sunset and heading into the overnight hours. Summertime pattern is here and here to stay. No end in sight. Daytime highs lower to mid-90s. Feels like temperatures triple digits, with those feels like temperatures also continuing to bring in some of that heat, that humidity, and afternoon pop-up showers and storms.
Sticking to everything.
It really is.
Sticky out there. All right, y'all survive that day. Drink some water. Thanks for watching us on Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.